watching this channel, I hope that you woke up well today. And if you are in distress, just know that God will meet your needs according to the riches of his glory. So today I'm going to be sharing about basically how to be able to maneuver right around your finances. So given my own experiences, I've found that if you are wanting to put your financial house in order, right, the first thing that you need to do is to always write down a budget. I have shared this before, that I have a spreadsheet that stipulates each and every single item that I need to spend on, be it be dead or just my living expenses. So so before, I used to not write anything. I think I've shared this before. I used to just do everything by head, and as a result, you'll find that with the spreadsheet now that is showing me that I do have an excess amount. Even after budgeting and everything, there's an excess amount that remains in my account that is unaccounted for. So before, I used to find myself having used that money, and at the end of the day, I'll ask myself that, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Where is my money going, right? And also, I felt that I under saved and under invested. And so by writing down all my expenses, by budgeting, as we traditionally call it, I found myself to be in a much more better place financially, right? I am able to see and account for every cent, and I'm able to allocate the funds that I find to be idling around into something else, like for instance, to paying off some of the student loans and some of the debts that I may have. So you should just take this into consideration. Try to write down every bill that you have by the end of the month, towards the end of the month, just before you get paid, just so that you can have a projection of how your finances are, of where your finances are going to be standing during that month going forward. So the second thing that I wanted to share today, in order in terms of putting your house together financially, right, is to set targets, right? You'll set targets in terms of paying off your debt and paying some of your expenses, right, that you have to pay. But also, because you need to have an emergency account, you need to be able to have savings, you need to be able to have that money that when you log into that app, that you I know I do this when I usually would just go to my Easy Equities account, and I just drool over it, or just constantly check my bank account, checking my savings, just to drool over it and just basically pat myself on the shoulder. That is, if I feel that I'm doing well. Right, so I've come to realize also that as you are paying off your debt, right, you get an excess amount every month. Let's say if on the month of October you were able to pay off like your credit card debt that you were usually contributing 2,000 rand a month on, right? So now you find that on the month of November you have an extra 2,000 rand, right, that is just idling account. And so that's the money that you can either just focus on paying off the rest of your debt, but then with time, because then you would have been eradicating your debt, right? You have like an extra certain amount of money that you are able to then now focus on, like investing and basically saving, and also basically just trying to have a stable emergency fund, right? So I find that to help me before, because one thing about setting targets for me was that I had to have a certain amount on emergency funds that I put every month, right? So I found that when I was beginning, because I had a lot of debt that I was trying to juggle my way around, I was only able to put a certain amount, but then my target was a certain amount. So I found that it was, as I was paying off my debt, I was able to eventually have a stable savings emergency savings account, right? Although I'm still working on it, I wish it could go further, but for now I'm satisfied with where it is, right? So yeah, I feel like that can also help you if you can just try and maneuver your way around it. So I also have found that once you have paid off your debt, right, you are able to do a whole lot of things, but many of us do not really know what to do with our account, with the extra money that we have, how to save, how to invest, that is, sorry. So there's so many ways that I find that you can invest, that you can do more research about things that are less what do you call it, risky, right? So for me, the things that I do for investing money is basically less riskier things. I know that out there are people who are risk takers. If you're a risk taker, by all means go for it, but I don't know, you'll need to like maybe seek financial advice before you get yourself into such a web. So one thing that I do for me is that I have a savings account in my bank account. I have two savings account, right? The other one is for emergencies, for just in case, when like an AS, that I've always mentioned the emergency account that I put on my what do you call it, my tax-free savings account on FNB, right? I think we all know that tax-free savings account with any bank in South Africa does not have is not taxed, right? So as long as you're able to save, like I think it's 36,000 rand with FNB, you would not be taxed, and 500,000 rand in your lifetime. So for myself at the moment, I'm putting my emergency fund on my FlexiFix, on my tax-free savings account, while on my flexi fixed account I'm putting my sort of like an investment towards a goal that I have. So I have those two accounts, and both those two accounts yield interest. And also another thing that I have is my easy equities account. I usually would use equities account if I have some change, if I have like extra money here and there. So you guys, try to be clever when it comes to your finances. Try to find ways in which that you can use to maneuver your way around, maneuver having savings, having investment, and all those things. I sure hope that one day, as my goal, I'll be able to invest into real estate, into REITs. But then at the moment, I'm still kind of just trying to research and see how it will go. But yeah, I'm also sure that you as well will get that knack as to say how do you go around maneuvering and just basically have sorting out your house financially. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I sure hope that you are going to subscribe. Just also thank you.